Okay, that's good. Okay, so let's because this is my first time using the lights. Okay, for this one in particular, so I use quarter. So this is a way for me to like do a roll call of all the lights.
All right.
Because what we have here is a software that is in the works for the last 5 to 6 years.
Okay.
So we spend quite a lot of time doing this software. So there is no user instruction manual. So I'm actually writing one.
Okay.
So what you actually see here, these are what we call fixtures, right? Mm-hmm. So this actually helps you to list what the lights are. You select them, you control them. All right. But this one is not as user intuitive as this, right? Mm-hmm. So this one actually says it's a PT2, right? So where is the PT2? So when I do this, you can actually turn over there. You can actually see the kettlebells. Alright.
Okay, there.
Okay. So what we do when we have a light like this, right? Knowing that the light is over there, actually I can pick this light, I can toss it all the way there. Because this PT2 is not supposed to be here, it's supposed to be there, right? So this PT2, I can just, I can quit and hold and drag it all the way there, all right? Because I know the PT2 is to the right side,
Yes.
right? So what about the other PT2, right? So if this PT2 is that, okay, how about this PT2, right? It might be right down there, okay? So I'll just put them together. How about this guy? This is correct, so I just drop them here. So the whole idea of this software, it allows you to logically like rearrange your light in such a way that you know that this light is here, this guy is here, this guy is there. Okay. So I'm going to put this light there, this PD2, where's this guy? I do not know. So I'm just going to toss him there. This PD4, there it is. So we get 1, 2, 3, right there. So it becomes very logical, very easy to use.
Okay.
Because
That's cool.
when you start to actually pick the lights and start shuffling them in a way that it makes sense to you. Yes?
If you follow your own flow when it comes to...
Absolutely. So that is always like when we add lights, you know, we set the Bluetooth on the unit itself, we add them in like 1, 2, 3, and after adding, one of the first things is to go to console and start shuffling them. When you start shuffling them, it starts to make sense. And then you can even rename them, right? So this is like 2 feet floor left. Yeah, 2 feet floor left. Alright, I can rename 4 feet floor left. So it starts to make sense to you because you start to change the name, right? And the fun thing is that like I can have a new group. Let's see, 2 feet floor, they're all here. So I can just pick up these lights, and then it becomes a group. Like this is the newest group, right? So I rename 4 twos. See, it makes sense to you, and then I can add a color label, and then when I search that, and then I can start controlling them together. See, like this, it's 100%, 0%, 100%. Yeah, it's become very, very easy to use. So in terms of the software, it becomes very sensible as a whole package, because other people are mostly about controlling lights too, right? But there is not such a level of organization and control. Because when you are done with this, right, you saw the light show outside.
Yes.
That is actually what we do after that. Because once you know where the lights are, okay, I want this light to light up. Right, so that becomes another level.
Okay,
so it means that you can do stage, right? So if you're saying, okay, there's this PT4, there's the one, this PT4 goes there, this PT4 is here, so they're next to each other, right? Next to each other. There's two guys, right?
Yep.
And you have the MC Pro that is on the shoulder, so I can actually arrange them next to each other. So PT4. This light is there, this light is there. Okay, where's this MC Pro? Right there. So I'll arrange them here. there. Where is it? I do not know. So it's okay. I know. Yeah, it's over there.
It's there.
Over there. Okay, so I found this guy. So I am actually trying to cluster them. So let's go there. So this is what we have here. So we have 5 lights around here. So it means that I've already found them. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it starts to make sense to use. You can actually do, say, from the left to the right. So it's very, very visual, right? It's very simple. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one is what we call, this one is what we call a multi-cross trainer, right? So I can go to console. I'll say from MRM PT4. He took it out. So anyways, this guy is gone.
Okay, I see. Sir, I have a question though. I have friends who own studios.
Right.
And I know that this would be perfect for their studios.
Yes.
What would be the introductory price if, like, say they want to get the basic set?
Basic sets. Okay, so if you are using a photo studio, because I am a photographer for the last 15 years, so I actually have 2 studios. So what I can say is that we have, usually what we do is that we will do a key, a fill, and a backpack. Key, fill, backpack, 4. Alright? Key, fill, backpack, background, and background. That means backlight, background, background. It's usually like a 4-light studio to a 6-light studio. So if we're looking at something like this, we would highly recommend that we go for a 600D standard. Because 600D standard gives you the power, okay? But if you usually use something like F5.6, you know, like a F4 in the studio, if you want to do a combination lighting, we can actually talk about working with
These guys.
Right? This guy is a 200X, right? So this guy is like this, you know, 200XS. So you're able to have a mixed color light for change, because like sometimes if you want to have a neutral light, that means daylight for the front, right? And then a little bit of warmth from the back.
Yes.
So this is able to do that. So let's find out where this 200 is. Alright, so this is the 200X is probably towards the end. Yeah, that's the 200X right there. Yeah, that's the one. So let's bring this guy here. So we're on this, we can have full power, we can have 3200, all the way down to 2700. So this works really nicely as a backlight for the hair.
It's a soft light too.
It's a very, very nice soft light. You can actually change the lens. That means you can change it to a standard reflector. You can change it to the 120 by 30 strip box, because we are very used to strip boxes in the studio. So I think they'll find that they also have soft boxes already. They have a 120 octa usual. They have like the 6090, like the 2x3, that's quite usual. They have the 3x4, that's quite usual. So all of them are going to soft boxes. So we start with that. And the magic of this, right, is that we are able to bring it down. When you're able to bring the light down, it makes mixing easier.
Yeah.
The problem I had with flashes is that I have a 600 watt monoblock, right? A 1200 watt, right? So if I've got 4 of the 600 watts, it gets too powerful.
Yeah.
Right? If I were to have like incandescent light bulbs, you know, running around, you know, we have like tubes, we have neon lights. Alright, our neon lights will be underexposed, right? We don't have exposure, right? And we're using flashes, right? When we use flashes, we are forced to bring it down to like really low power, like 1/128, 1/164. So these numbers will cause our flashes to go, the colors to go off. Alright? If it's like an electronic flash, right, using IGBT circuits, it will go cold. Alright? You have 6,500 to 7,000 degrees. Right? If you're using the old type of circuitry, right, like the flash and you wait for a while and it beeps, right?
Yeah.
Those will go warm. When you go low power, you get like less than 5,006, you get 5,000, you get 4,005. Right? So the colors go off when you reduce the power of the flashes. So it's very, very fine, right? The kind of things you encounter as a studio owner, right, for many years, is that I have 2 families of lights, alright? One will behave like this, one will behave like that, right? For us, we unify everything. we make sure that the lights are almost indiscernible in terms of color. Only measure. So if we bring it down to 5%, like maybe 4 or 3 or even 2, this is when you actually take something to measure it. You may find something different, but it's indistinguishable from most people's eyes.
Only photographers know it.
Photographers will see, right? There is no way, no 100% way that it will be perfect, right? Because LED has to perform from here all the way down to 1%. Alright? 1%. Skin tone, how does it look? How much off is that? What's the color temperature, right? Is it going off or is it staying on? Alright? We have to go all the way to 100%. It has to stay at 2700. Goes all the way down to 1%. Stay at 2700. It has to do that. Alright? Last time, if we say like 4 years ago, our LEDs, they don't go down to 10. They just go down to 10. They don't go down to 1. Alright? So if you are talking about a very high-end aperture like a 600X Pro, right? That can go down to 0.1%, right? Those lights can go down to 0.1. Right? So it's 1,000 times difference, right? From the highest power to the lowest power.
Okay.
So this is evolution, right? So if we talk about this 150C, this is our pretty much the newest lights that we have. So I go all fixtures, alright, all fixtures, control, quick this, all fixtures control, like that. Let's bring all the lights down to 1. New light, okay, hold on. String that, okay, close this. Let's bring it to PVPX, hold on. 1 for her, 1 for the back, there we go. See?
Okay.
Then here, if you look at this logo over here, okay, this is what we can do with the new light, the light engine. LEDs are usually, when you turn it down to 0, it just cuts, right? It just shuts off. Look at this guy. This is 2%. This is 1%. This is 0. 0 to 1. 1 to 0. 0 to 1.
Wow.
You don't get this in the 600D. You don't get this with our older lights. You only get this with the newer lights. Yeah. LEDs is about generation. It's about when it is being made. Yeah. So the 150C, although it's what we call a budget light, with RGB WW. So it works very well as a key light, but you can shift magenta, you can shift green. So you can match the light. And as a 150, you use it as a key light. A lot of people like to use this as a light for faces because it allows you to correct for skin tone. So if a person looks a little bit